Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Valerie Clay, and I'm here to talk about our discussion board post. I've decided to focus on the question regarding the importance of religion in early America and how it was as a cohesive societal bond, how it served as a cohesive societal bond. The first piece that I looked at, well, let me back up for a second. I've actually found there are three things that were, in my opinion, important um, for how that cohesive bond was able to be formed with religion. The first, of course, being that the vast majority of people who come over from Europe are coming here because they're fleeing religious persecution. Looking at the website from the Library of Congress, the religion and the founding of the American Republic, and all of those amazing documents, pictures, engravings, really drove home the point, especially in part one, of how persecuted these individuals were. They were running from tyranny. They probably all had family members or very good friends who had been killed, jailed. Horrible things had happened, and so they're coming to the shores of North America, really looking for religious freedom. And so that in itself is a reason for them to be using, religion as a way to bond. That shared experience of persecution for their religious beliefs certainly is a reason for being able to bond together. The second thing that I want to focus on is that religion really kind of united the colonists in forging their relationships with Native Americans. Yes, they're leaving Europe and they're hoping to find religious freedom, but they don't come over here and it's not empty. There are people here who've been here for centuries, and these individuals, these colonists, have to figure out how they're going to forge a relationship. And so many of them attempt to forge their relationship with the Native Americans through religion. As Dr. Schultz mentions in the article that he wrote on Earl Warren, he states that the charters, and he's correct, the charters of the Virginia Company as well as the Massachusetts Bay Colony state outright that reasons for colonization of those areas was so that, yes, maybe religious freedom, to make money, but they all state, and generally within the very first part of the charters, it states that they are to also, these colonists are also to reach out to the Native Americans and convert them to Christianity. That is a very important thing. And when Pocahontas, we all know about Pocahontas, converts to Christianity. Of course, she marries John Rolfe, not John Smith. John Rolfe, and converts to Christianity. She's baptized Christian. She goes to England. That is huge, ladies and gentlemen. That was huge. They absolutely loved her, and she really creates this kind of fervor, especially in England, and I'd say on the continent as well, where they're like, wow, this is possible. We really can make a difference with these Native Americans. We can convert them. This is a real possibility. And so for the next 100 years, there is this very focused attempt on conversion. It goes on after that, but you really see it in the colonial colleges, and whether it's successful or not, we'll allow others to talk about. What they can argue. But I do feel as though this idea of forging relationships with Native Americans through religion was something that allowed for cohesive societal bonds. Now, the third thing that I'd like to mention actually comes from a resource that I found through the further reading in the Knoll textbook. The book is called Salem Possessed, and it was published in 1974, not 18, 1974, by Paul Bowyer and Stephen Nissenbaum. They look at the Salem witch trials as a form of societal cohesiveness and how the witch trials actually brought people together. interestingly enough. And it looks like an interesting read. I do plan on reading the book when I have a little bit more time. But one of the things that I noticed in the book, as I was looking through it and reading parts and chapters, they mentioned that 142 people were named as witches during during the time of the Salem witch trials. Um, Only 25 are described in the documents from that period as actually living in Salem Village. The vast majority, around 115 or more of those individuals, actually are from outside the village, and they are actually considered outsiders of the religious group that kind of has control at the time. And so they argue that the witch trials kind of are a way of separating individuals who might not be following a certain belief system, but they also focus on individuals who many people just didn't know them. Maybe they kept to themselves, and so that was seen as odd. And I don't want to get into the particulars of the fact that, oh, here's somebody who says they're Christian and they're being terrible and they're persecuting. Well, we can talk about that later. But what we can agree upon is that religion, unfortunately, could be used as a negative social bond. Anything can be used in a negative and a positive manner. We could argue all kinds of points. But really, the bottom line is, in this situation, with this one specific situation with the Salem witch trials, Boyer and Nissenbaum argue that they're used as a way of society bonding together. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. I think I've gone a little bit over on time. I apologize. I do like to talk, but I look forward to seeing everybody else's videos, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much.